Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
Hello and thanks for staying with us on Asset Television. Welcome to the news. I am Emmanuel Ejike. First, the headlines. Federal government organized labor failed to reach an agreement on minimum wage. House of Reps intervene on IGP/Police Commission standoff. Sudan gives marching orders to foreigners to leave their country. The House of Representatives has waded into the face-off between the Police Service Commission (PSC) and the Inspector General of Police over recruitment into the force. This followed the adoption of a motion on urgent public importance by Rep. Mitema Obodo, PDP Baesa, during plenary in Abuja. The motion is titled, Resolving the Impasse, an urgent need to investigate and settle lingering police recruitment disputes. Obodo presented a motion that the Nigerian police is under the supervision of the PSC, which has the power to appoint, promote and dismiss all officers of the Nigeria Police Force except the IGP. This, he said, was with the objective of brokering a relationship of trust and confidence between the public and the police. He said that, in view of the population of Nigeria and the security situation in the country, the ideal police-to-citizen ratio in Nigeria ought to be 1 police officer to 200 citizens. He, however, said the country currently has a ratio of 1 police officer to 650 citizens, indicating a significant shortfall in the Nigerian police strength. The federal government says it is committed to ensuring freedom of media practice in Nigeria. Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris said this at a dinner organized by the International Press Institute (IPI) to celebrate the re-election of Mr. Rahim Adedoyin as a director of World IPI on Thursday in Abuja. Idris said that the President Bola Tinubu administration has accorded a special priority to the entrenchment of responsible media journalism. According to him, media practitioners must be free to carry out their job effectively. The minister further explained that freedom may not necessarily mean doing things at one's desire. Idris also said that press freedom was a collective responsibility that required all hands to be on deck. The minister, however, described the re-election of Rashim as director representing Africa in IPI board as deserving and a pride to Nigeria. Also speaking, the special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, reminded journalists on their task. He added that there were rules and laws guiding journalism practice, which must be observed whenever journalists were discharging their duties. In his speech, Adedoyin thanked the IPI Board Minister of Information and Malam Kabiru Yusuf for nominating him to represent Nigeria. The House of Representatives.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Asset Television. We'll be back after this short break.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television.
Welcome back from the break. Dan Obi, National Vice Chairman for the South-South Zone of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), has accused the party's National Working Committee of defying a federal High Court order by suspending him. In a letter to the acting national chairman, Obi, through his solicitors, demanded the immediate and unconditional reaction of the press. Statement announcing his suspension and all related actions. Obi, who was elected under the party's constitution, claimed his suspension is part of smear campaign by disgruntled party members, including the World Executive Committee of the Ward 4, Etsako Central Local Government, led by Paulinus Ebode, Despite the court's order, the NWC suspended Obi on July 10, 2023. In response, Obi's legal team has demanded immediate retraction of the NYC's press statement regarding his suspension and dissolution of the 6-man committee led by Ambassador Taoufik Arapaja, formed to investigate him. Obi warned that failure to comply with these demands will result in legal actions, including contempt proceedings against the NWC members and disciplinary committee. Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State has called on states to focus more on productive activities that can boost internally generated revenues. Makinde made the call while reacting to the Supreme Court judgment that granted financial autonomy to the local governments. The governor, while receiving the national president of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Dr. Chris Izuguzo, in his office at the Secretariat at Godi Ibadan, said the Supreme Court judgment has nothing to do with Oyo State. The governor, who lamented the inability of many of the local government areas to generate revenue outside the federal allocation, said the focus of the country should be on how to increase productivity. According to him, it is a big shame for the country that we cannot feed ourselves. He explained that the issue Nigeria has is not producing enough. Iziguzo, during the visit, invested Makinde as the grand patron of NUJ, or Oyo State Council, in recognition of his immense support to the union over the years. Some stakeholders in Delta have declared support for the proposed creation of Anioma State. Senator Ned Nwoko had in bill presented recently before the Senate proposed the carving out of Anioma State from the present Delta in the South-South region and make it the 6th state in the Southeast region. The stakeholders spoke at an interactive session with the media and interest groups on Thursday in Asaba, Delta State. Speaking at the forum, Dr. Godwin Osai, ex-dean, Novena University, Ogume, Delta State, who hails from the Ndokwa Okwani Federal Constituency, said that the creation of Anioma State had been generally accepted among the people of Delta North Senatorial District. According to him, wherever the issue of the creation of Anioma State is discussed, there is a general acceptance for its creation. He urged the media to help disseminate, build consensus, truth, and commitment of the constituent that made up the 9 local government areas of Delta North to manage the distractions that were emerging. Osai cautioned that it was better to first have the state rather than expressing fear for any marginalization thereafter. The National Agency for Food, Drugs Administration and Control has intensified surveillance in restaurants and other eateries to ensure hygienic practices against cholera outbreak in Sokoto State. The agency's state coordinator, Garba Adamu, told newsmen on Friday that a team of officials had been detailed to ensure that stipulated sanitary regulations were adhered to by all food outlets. Adamu explained that the team, headed by NAFDAC's nutrition officer Abubakar Aliu, is to ensure that only safe, hygienic and quality foods are being prepared and sold to consumers. He said that through routine inspection, food vendors were mandated to comply with the agency's guidelines on good hygiene and sanitation practices. According to him, the effort is to safeguard people's health and prevent the spread of cholera, as cases are being recorded in some parts of the country. The coordinator cautioned food vendors against using adulterated, counterfeit, unregistered, and expired items in cooking their meals, reiterating that NAFDAC will continue the enforcement to apprehend defaulters. Adamu said the operation will be extended to local government areas, border markets, and others as part of the agency's efforts to ensure only hygienic foods are sold. He called on the public to be wary of poorly prepared foods and report any unhygienic practice from any eatery to NAFDAC, reiterating the agency's determination to safeguard the health of the nation. Sudanese security authorities have ordered all foreigners to leave the country, the capital Khartoum, and the surrounding region. They have 2 weeks to do so, according to a statement from the section of the police dealing with foreigners. Foreigners should live for their own safety amid the fighting still raging between government troops and the Rapid Support Forces militia, the police said. According to media reports, hostility towards foreigners, especially those from other African countries, has been on the rise following reports of foreign mercenaries in the RSF ranks. Just a few days ago, more than 150 foreigners who did not have valid resident papers were detained. A bloody power struggle has been raging in Sudan for more than a year between the de facto ruler Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and his former deputy Mohamed Hamdan Daglo. According to the UN, the conflict has caused almost 10 million people to flee their homes and risk a famine in the country. International aid organization staff and diplomats still in the country left Khartoum after the outbreak of fighting and are now working from Port Sudan, where the situation is comparatively stable. The National President Horse Racing Federation of Nigeria, Alhaji Mustafa Abubakar Bida, says a World Cup for the sport will soon be organized in Nigeria. There will be participation from all the countries of the world like it's been done in Dubai. He spoke to journalists on the sideline of the ongoing 4-day maiden edition of the International Horse Racing Derby. The epochal sport meet was organized by the Federation as part of the 1-year anniversary celebration of President Bola Tinubu. Mustafa Bida, also the Sarkin Dawakin Nupe, said that horse racing, like other sports, was a key unifying factor in Nigeria, Africa, and the world. According to him, such an event organized at the global stage will bolster the image of the country as well as add tremendous value to the nation's economy. On the ongoing derby, he described Kaduna as the hub of horse racing, saying Kaduna is the center of the north. And that is the news. I am Emmanuel Ejike. Keep watching Asset Television for more interesting programs.
Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics, business, sports and entertainment. Your one-stop channel, Asset Television. Welcome to Asset Television, your best station for news, politics.